welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do the support Hanna Karlzon tag. It's one of the many tags that have been going around, whether it be Instagram or YouTube, and this one in particular has 11 questions, and it was started by Camille Coloriage. And I actually didn't see it originally on her channel. I saw it on Color Me Stress Free, also known as Debbie, and then I was reminded to do it when I watched Erica from Elm Colors. So thank you to both of those channels for doing that so I could be aware. But I will link to Camille's channel below in the description in case you want to check her out. And yeah, I'm just going to work on this page from, what is this? Jewelry Box. And I'll answer those 11 questions. I'm using my Starjoy Gold. I'm in the middle of testing those for you guys to give an in-depth review. And I tend to use oil-based pencils in Hanna Karlzon books. For some reason they just, I don't know, stick to the paper better than your wax-based. And so yeah, this is the perfect time or perfect book to test them on because I prefer to use them, or prefer to use oil-based on here. And when I say oil-based, I just mean it's predominantly oil, because yes, there is wax in oil-based pencils. All right, so let's get on to the questions. So question number 1 is, how long after you started coloring did you buy your first Hanna books? So I actually didn't discover Hanna Karlzon when I first started coloring. And then even when I had seen her work and I was starting to get more into coloring, I was a little intimidated by it. Like my first books were like Eerie and Johanna Basford style. So Hanna Karlzon was pretty out of my comfort zone. So I actually didn't, let's see, I started coloring in 2016. And I didn't buy my first Hanna Karlzon book until August 2018, so pretty good chunk of time, 2 years there. And yeah, that's when I decided to give it a go. And I was happy with it, and I started buying them from there on. But yeah, it took me a little bit longer to want to. I think it was about a year into coloring that I discovered her, and then it took another year to be like, maybe I could tackle those. All right, number 2, what was your first wow, I can't talk today. What was your first Hanna Karlzon book, and why did you choose that one? And what was the last one you bought? Okay, it's a really compounded question there. So the first book I bought, I had to look it up on Amazon. Thank goodness they keep your order history for life, right? But so the one I bought first was Seasons, and once I saw that that was the one I bought, I remembered why. So when I was first looking at her books, I wanted to get one that had like variety for all the seasons, hence why I bought Seasons. But it had the most variety. Like it had Christmas, it had fall, it had springish pages, wintry scenes type of thing. So yeah, I just felt like I could use it year round. Because back then I was really into like coloring for the season, whereas now I'm like, I don't even care. I'll do a spring picture in the middle of winter. So that's why I purchased Seasons. The last one I got was her latest book, Tales from the Witch's Cottage. I bought it on Book Depository. It's not out on Amazon US just yet. It should be. They usually take about a year or so. So yeah, I got that one off Book Depository. And that was, actually, no, that wasn't the last one I bought, though. Now that I think of it, I bought one of her postcard books this month. I totally spaced on that. So technically, that's the last one I bought, is her postcard one. Oops. One of her postcards. How many Hanna books do you own, is question number 3. So in total, I have 15, but she doesn't actually have 15 books. I have duplicates of a couple. You can actually go back in my channel and you'll see my Hanna Karlzon collection. But yeah, I do have some duplicates of her books, especially ones I bought early on in my coloring that I kind of screwed up some pages and I just wanted to forget, so I start over. So I have 15 total. That includes I have all of her books that she's ever released, her actual books. I now have one set of postcards because I bought a postcard set. And then I do have one artist edition that was given to me from a subscriber, and it's the Daydreams artist edition. So yeah, in total I have 15 books, but just keep in mind she doesn't actually have like 15 editions. Let's see, number 4. Would you be able to place all her books in an order from your favorite to your least favorite? And what is your favorite book and why? I don't know if I could put them in order. It's just a daunting task. But I can easily identify my favorite and least favorite. So I'm going to do that. So my favorite is Magical Dawn. I really like that one. I feel like it had a really good selection of portraits. Like all the portraits in Magical Dawn I really enjoyed. Or enjoy, I should say, because I haven't finished that book. But they're more my style. Not a ton of like these little doodads over here, because those tend to, I have to be in the mood for those. But yeah, it just has a nice balance, and I really loved the artwork in that one. So that's my favorite for sure. And then my least favorite, unfortunately, it's really easy to pick my least favorite, is Midnight Masquerade. I just did not like that book. It gave me the creeps because it's got all those like clown-like figures, and I apparently have a fear of clowns that I didn't know about, but because I seriously get like the chills just. But yeah, I just didn't. The pages in that book were not my style. And that's about when Hannah's style started to change when she released that book, the smaller ones, the Tale series, I guess I should call them. But I started noticing a big shift in her art style. And when I first got that one, I was like, oh no, I hope the rest aren't like this. And luckily the other two weren't. But yeah, that Midnight Masquerade one is definitely my least favorite. And I think I've colored like one page in it. And I think it's like the one picture that I was like, okay to color. I think there's only like 2 in that whole book I would color, to be honest. Number 5, will you buy her future books? Yes. I do love Hanna Karlzon's art. Even with Midnight Masquerade, you know, there not being a lot of pages in it I would enjoy. I kind of look at her art as a collection type of thing. You know, one day these will go out of print. They're hardback, good paper. These are those types of books that they're not going to print forever. So I want to collect them, and I love her art style. So even if I didn't color a page, just seeing the line art is beautiful and wonderful to flip through, and you can just appreciate the detail and artistry behind it. So yeah, I will continue to buy and plan to buy. I'm itching to get that new one that's, I think, comes out next month, if I'm not mistaken, on Book Depository. But yeah, I plan to buy that one and, you know, pay for it on Book Depository and wait the 6 months for it to show up. Number 6, what picture of Hannah's did you color first, and why did you choose that one? So I'm really bad about dating my coloring book pages. So I was flipping through my coloring books trying to decide like which one was the first one I did. And so I'm just going to take a guess. I did a page in Seasons, and it was a color along with from Julie's Passion for Coloring. And I'm going to say that was probably one of the first ones I did, simply because when I was first learning or getting more into adult coloring and like trying to learn techniques and stuff, I did a lot of color alongs. And one channel I watched a lot was Julie's Passion for Coloring. And I know I did a lot of Hanna Karlzon ones with her. And since Seasons was my first book, I kind of slightly recall buying that because I knew I would have some color alongs too to follow. So I think it was one of those pages. I really need to date my books. I'm always afraid the date will like ruin the page, but I need to get over that. It's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? Okay. Number 7, do you color a Hanna page every month? I don't. I will admit I have to be in the mood. I am working on one, Tales from the Forest Kingdom, in all pastel colored pencils. And by that I mean pastel colors, not pastel pencils. But yeah, I'm trying to finish that one this year, or at least get a good chunk done this year. But even then, I don't color in her books every month. Like this month, I'm trying to, simply because of all the tags going around for her. But I'm actually finding myself struggling to do it because I just have to be in a certain headspace to color just about anything, not just Hanna Karlzon. I just want to feel like coloring it. I gotta be in that mood. Hopefully that makes sense. Number 8, are you following a monthly challenge linked to one of her books? And if so, which one? I am not. I know there's a couple colorists that often do her books. I think there's one that does one every month, but I can't recall. But I personally am not following any of those because, like I said, I have to be in the right mental space and, want to color it, and that's just not always the case. Let's see, number 9. Which type of illustrations do you prefer to color? Portraits, animals, flowers, etc. I'm assuming this means from Hanna Karlzon, because normally it would be portraits, but from Hanna Karlzon, I would rather do flowers as I'm coloring a portrait. But that's just because her portraits are not always my style, so it really depends. Again, I just got to be in the mood, but I love her florals and stuff, like all these flowers. These are so cute and pretty, and I mean, I've seen what people do to them and they make them look like wowza. I just color them so basic. But yeah, I would definitely say from Hanna Karlzon it would be her flowers. Okay, what illustration do you like to color the least? It's number 10. It's kind of a tie between her ones with like animals, because they're always, I love coloring hair, but fur for some reason scares me. I don't know why. If there's an animal on a page, I don't color it, which is dumb because I like to color hair and it's just shorter flicks. I know, it makes no sense. So it's kind of a cross between her ones with animals and like these busy doodad looking ones where they're like doodly and just intricate. I think there's even some like the buggies in here. I'd have to, I'm not like really keen on. I'm trying to see if there's more examples of what I'm talking about. But like, the ones that are here, animal, see that one? This is a beautiful image, but fur. So yeah, just the ones that are super busy-bodied or animals. Like this image would be perfect and beautiful to color if I didn't have that little deer just chilling in the center. Like this one is like what I'm talking about, like super busy and just, I don't know. I just don't know where to start with these ones or what I want to do with those. I think that's why I get lost. Okay. Number 11, do you hide the white lines when you color? And if so, how do you do it? I do not, but I want to, but at the same time, I don't want to because I don't have the patience. If that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, like I've seen how awesome these pictures become when people color up or cover up these white lines here, or white lines, black lines. I just realized the question is, do you hide the white lines? She must have meant, do you white over the lines? That has to be what she meant, I think. So yeah, but I've seen what it looks like when people hide them, and it's a very thick line art, so it looks really good when you do that, and you can get a lot more realistic imagery out of it, especially the portraits and even the flowers. But yeah, I just don't have the patience to go through with a Posca or white gel pen and cover those like others do. I've seen people do it with the Posca. That seems to be the most popular method for coloring the lines. But I've also seen people take like just a white paint and a fine brush and paint over them. And you got to have a steady hand and a load of patience that method. And then I've seen like white gel pen used. So yeah, there's those methods, and maybe one day I'll do it, but oh my gosh, I just like can't even think of the amount of work that would take to sit there and do. So probably never gonna happen. Well, I colored a couple leaves while we did this, but that is all 11 questions. So yeah, I thank Camille for doing this tag and the questions, because it's always fun to spread that through the community and just see what everyone's answers are, you know, and it's I don't know, it brings everyone together is a good way to put it. I can't put words out today. They're racing through my head, but they're not coming out the way I want to say them. But yeah, it's just a great way to bring everyone together, and of course to support Hanna Karlzon. And you know, because for those of you who may not be aware, she announced on Instagram was it last month, that she found out she has a brain tumor. So it was just so disheartening to hear. And so yeah, there's a lot of beautiful tags and support tags on Instagram and YouTube going around, just, you know, to show the love to Hanna Karlzon and wish her well and all that, and just hope that everything turns out for the best. So that is why I wanted to definitely participate in this. I know I'm pretty late to the game on it. It was just a matter of squaring myself away and such, but yep, so thank you, Camille, for this tag. Remember to go check out Camille's channel. I will leave it in the description below. I'll also link to Debbie and Erica's channel, because I do have to give them credit since I saw it on their channels, and they kind of were like the reminder, hey, you should do this. So I'll link to them as well. But thank you, everyone, for hanging out while I colored, what, 4 leaves? 5 leaves? We did 5-ish. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. And until next time, take care. Bye now.